I think that is about as close to an urban legend as you can get without doing that. On the insurance side, if you have written into your insurance, if you're building an apartment, you will be financially penalized if you go through a conversion. The way apartments are being built today, they're not really very suitable to be turned into condos. They don't work much in the marketplace. And the difference in the insurance, if you go in with a 6-year plan of flipping it to a condo, your insurance is 3 times as much per unit while you're in the rental business. So it goes from about $1,300 a unit to $4,000 a unit of insurance. So it's going to drive your rent up, and you have to make that conversation. But by and large, the insurance guys are really discouraging that. I think there'll be a small amount of movement. There's no really, it's not a game changer in Denver. This is a city that's now going on 800,000 people. The demand there is huge, and there will be additional units built because it's a hot market, and we're really pushing people out. I think more helpful to us in the region is the low interest housing tax cut, which was also passed, which is going to build about 4,000 units region wide. That's nice, but if you've got condos moving, you'd probably build, well, you get 11,000 of used condos sold, so you're probably going to generate several thousand more. You could at least double the supply side on condos and supported housing. And you talk to builders, you get all kinds of different conversations about the IHO in Denver. Not anybody's really thrilled about it. It would be interesting because they would have had to tell the insurance company that they weren't going to convert it. Okay. So there's a breach of contract with the insurance company, and the insurance company might choose to sue the builder.
So they state that at the very beginning, and if they decide to change their mind?
Yeah. Okay. They won't insure you unless you write that down and say this will not be converted. What we found is it's called the period of repose. The statute of limitation is 7 years. What we found is that in the 6th year, and we have marketing letters from some law firms who would send a note to every HOA board and say, you're coming up on your end of your period of repose in 1 year. We will do an evaluation of your units to see if you have construction defects. And we will do that for free. And if we do that and we find defects, you will commit to hiring us, or we will charge you for all the experts we bring in. So what happens there at the last sentence in the one I read was, incidentally, if you do not take our offers, you may be individually liable for not engaging somebody to do this. So I don't know what you call that. I'm sure there's a term. But it's a great marketing plan. And we did talk to a number of builders. And as soon as litigation begins, the builder can't talk to the unit owners to fix, right to repair. So the HOAs will tell you after they've gone through an expensive evaluation that we're really sorry, we like the builder, he's a nice person, but we don't have the money to pay for it, so we're going to sue him anyhow. So you end up in these just bizarre ending points, almost anything that we looked at. And I'll be honest with you, I used to stand up every year and try to help, deal with regulations in the housing, but I've never seen anything. What an incredible enterprise it is for a number of firms. We have great solidarity all along the Front Range. What would really be nice if we could find a builder who would have the courage to stand up and take this on. You know, you have to be a little bit of a masochist right now to do that. But if we could get a court case, which we believe will stand up, and the reason I believe it will, the ordinances will stand up, is that housing is really a shared responsibility in reality in the legal system between the city and the state. But original decisions to make housing a priority of the solely as an interest to the state was based on segregating race in the 50s and the late after World War II, and it was used as a tool to say, oh, you're going to be in a community that's going to segregate minorities or poor people have one place, and that's the responsibility of the state, so we'll come in and fix that problem. That's not an issue anymore. In my view, there's nobody running around trying to segregate people. And there was actually a U.S. Supreme Court decision on the Dallas Housing Authority that kind of affirmed that. Held the Dallas Housing Authority, which was actually putting more vouchers out for people to move into poor neighborhoods, and said, this is the city of Dallas's housing authority. They're also liable for this kind of behavior, and therefore our view of that, at least by our attorneys, is that the Supreme Court is saying it is a combination of state and local authority, which should then make the ordinances that you guys helped come into reality, should make them legal. But somebody's got to go to court to find out. Well, LIHTC came in, and we had another piece of legislation which was for exactly those people. It was the Unclaimed Property Fund. You know, all the stuff. I don't know if you ever go through the newspaper and see if the state owes you anything, or you have friends who have money, like millions of dollars in the fund. But there's a requirement of how much money has to be in that fund. Well, we're way over that number. So we looked at that last year and said, let's use this as a part of the voucher process. And either to raise the vouchers, because you and I know all too well that a lot of landlords, given what they're getting for rents, are not taking vouchers, or could we just get more people into that operation? And that's sitting around right now. There was a big hubbub around the Unclaimed Property Fund, and it didn't get anywhere. But there were the three bills: the low-income housing tax credit, the unclaimed property, and then our bill. Those were the three things last year that we wanted to get passed. And we went 0 for 3. We went 1 for 3 this year. It pretty much sucks. I guess if you had a batting average for the Rockies, you'd be a hero, but it doesn't feel like it for us right now.